Hey guys, it's Andy again. Talking tech today about SpaghettiOs. Why am I holding the SpaghettiOs? Hey, it's Andy again here talking tech, and today we're really talking about the Wyze Sense. But if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hit that bell so you don't miss any new videos. And if you bought the Wyze Sense, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. This is cool, guys. If you're familiar with the Wyze brand, and I've done a review on their smart band released just this year. Check out that video here for a review on that. But this is where they're starting to dive into the smart home, guys, and into IoT. So if you're into IoT, check out that video over there for some more details. But the Wyze Sense, and I bought the starter kit, and this is I'm going to show you these in a second. It's a kit that has a motion sensor and two door or window sensors, and also the bridge. So it needs the bridge to communicate, and it works with your Wyze cameras. So if you have a Wyze camera, I'm sure you're familiar with these. You have the app installed. So Wyze has been known to offer a lot of electronic smart home devices, cameras, wearables. They have a scale, and now smart home sensors, motion sensors, door and window sensors at very reasonable prices. And they've recently just come out with a door lock and connected thermostat. Same trend, very, very cheap. So Wyze is really setting a trend here for coming out with very cheap hardware. I'm not sure how they're making any money yet, but we're not going to focus on that here. Let's dive into this thing. So the bridge. Like I said, you do need the bridge to use these things. So it's just the size of the camera, has a little USB plug on it, plugs right in, and that way it uses the Wi-Fi that the camera's connected to for all communications. And here is the motion sensor. So it's just a little square with black round eyeball. Now, back to the SpaghettiOs. I brought that along to give you all a reference into how small this thing actually is. Look at that. It's like 1/10 the size of my SpaghettiOs. That's really tiny. Okay, that's the motion sensor. Here's the box that it came in. Let me show you that real quick. Look at this thing. That's the box. When they showed it to my house, I thought they forgot stuff because it came in an envelope. Like, where's the rest of it? So here's the motion sensor, and here is the door and window sensor. Magnet stuck right to it. So that's just one of them. The box, it comes with two of these. So let me put the motion sensor down. So obviously the door and window sensor comes in two pieces. So you know if the door is open or the window is open or closed. It also can tell you if the door or window has been open for a certain amount of time, which is nice. And then also in the box is this little pin, which you need. You push the little button when you first activate the device and set it up on your system. So that comes in the box also. And then you get your setup manual in there, which you don't really need. It's pretty straightforward if you got the app. The motion sensor, my experience so far is pretty good, although it's a little dirty. It does have a 120 degree field of view, and it can see a distance of 26 feet. So that's pretty huge. None of my rooms are 26 feet long. Any of the rooms I'm going to use this in anyway. And usually if you're triggering something with motion, you don't want anything to be that far away to trigger it anyway. So that's pretty good, especially for a device this cheap. This kit, guys, this is the starter kit. So that's why it comes with the bridge. You only need one bridge. I think it said you could connect up to 100 devices per one bridge, so that may be all you need. But this one kit, two sensors, two door window sensors and motion sensor, $20. And that's $20 right from the Wyze app. I went into their shop, bought it from there. You can also get on Amazon. They sell it in a bundle with a camera, so if you need a camera, you're interested in this, check out the link below. I'll leave links in the description below, so you guys can check those out. But $20, guys. The camera you can't, or the motion sensor, it looks like a little camera. The motion sensor you can get if you already have the starter kit and the bridge. You can probably pick up more of these for only $5 each. That, I have not seen a motion sensor that cheap. I'm probably going to pick up more of these. It does come with sticky tape on the back, which if you need to reuse, you can just add another thing there to, if you want to stick it on the wall somewhere. Or it can sit, it's so tiny, just have it sit on a shelf or something. The door and window sensor also has sticky tape on the back with some styrofoam. I don't know why the styrofoam padding. So what are some pros of this thing? So I showed you how tiny these are. Let me give you an example of really how small this thing is. So I want to show you a motion sensor I picked up about a year ago. Here's my can of SpaghettiOs again. Here's a Bosch motion sensor I picked up about a year ago. It's bigger than my can of SpaghettiOs, guys. And I mean, this thing's pretty awesome. First of all, the batteries, I don't remember how long the batteries lasted. Over a year maybe, but this takes 4 AA batteries. That's why it's so huge. It's humongous, it's heavy. But I got it really cheap. I got it on sale almost over a year ago when I was still dabbling and building up my smart home. But it's humongous. Look at this thing. You can't hide this. But then here comes the $5 Wyze sensor, and look at the size difference. The Wyze sensor is smaller than the sensor on this thing. If you can see that, I can put this inside the sensor. That's how small it is. So that's like the best thing about this is the size. The second, that's the number one best thing. Number 1A is the price. Again, 20 bucks just to get started in these, and then $5 for each motion sensor. Okay, number 3, I've only had this for about a week, but they claim the batteries last a year, which is awesome. I thought for sure with such a tiny device, the battery is going to be so small that I'm going to be changing batteries all the time. I mean, AA's in this thing, there's 4 AA batteries in this thing, and it lasted me a year. This thing's supposed to last me a year. Unfortunately, it's not the same CR2032 batteries that are common in most other sensors. But you can pick up those batteries easy on Amazon. And lastly, I mean, this thing would be useless unless you can integrate it with something else, right? So obviously, and this is all on Wyze's website, these integrate nicely with the cameras. So you can do things like trigger a video recording based off of motion. So somebody enters a room, maybe you're not home, somebody enters a room, you can have it trigger and record video, send you an alert. Or same thing, a window or door opens, it triggers camera. Because Wyze also sells light bulbs and connected outlets, you can have it turn on or off one of those. So somebody enters a room, you're not home, it turns the light on, it takes a video, things like that. And that, everything I just described, it was just through the Wyze app. So that's all right in the Wyze ecosystem. So you pick up one of these for 20 bucks, a camera for $25, and maybe a light bulb, and you just got the beginnings of a smart home for $50. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, that's like, you don't even have to ask your wife for permission, guys, right? 50 bucks? So taking a step further, integrations for this are really cool. So not only can you control some integrations in the Wyze app, but they've also expanded that. So this can also be controlled through IFTTT. IFTTT. IFTTT does provide all kinds of integrations across disparate systems and services online. So you can trigger this and, sorry, not trigger this. You can trigger devices based on this through IFTTT, or you can also use Echo. So the Amazon Echo devices is also compatible with these. I set that up, I tested it. I had some varying levels of results. I'll tell you about those. But that opens up a world of possibilities to be able to use the motion sensor and the door window sensor as a trigger in IFTTT or your Echo automations. Okay, so this device is really cool. It's cheap, it's tiny, smaller than my SpaghettiOs, but what are the downsides of this thing? There's gotta be some, right? Well, there is. One, it requires the camera to use it. So the bridge, since the bridge is your communication channel and that plugs into the camera, this requires you to have either the Wyze Cam or Wyze Cam Pan to plug in the bridge. So if you don't have one of those, you'll have to pick up a camera if you want to use these devices. Not a big deal. Like I said, the cameras are $25, but it still requires you to further buy into their ecosystem. Two, and this is a minor thing I've noticed through this motion sensor is very sensitive. But in the app, there was no settings, no settings to change the sensitivity of the motion. Also, through my experiences at least, so I set up a simple automation to turn a light on and off in a room. Turn the light on when motion is detected. After 10 minutes, no motion, turn the light off. I did that through my Echo, and the on worked flawlessly, but the off did not. So I ended up having to change that, and I had to change my trigger to use IFT to detect that there was no motion and then turn it off. Because of the clear, they call it clear, motion versus clear, coast is clear, signal that this sends out, it didn't trigger properly through Echo. Your mileage may vary, but that's been my experience so far. No problem. I did it through IFT, and I mean, problem solved. It's really a non-issue. Okay guys, well if you like the video so far, or if you just like SpaghettiOs, please let me know if you're getting value out of this. Hit that thumbs up. Final recommendation, I say buy it. Like I said, for the all-in price of $50, you can have the camera, the motion sensor, 2-door windshield sensors, and maybe a light bulb or two. And then you just started your smart home, and for 50 bucks, you got some pretty awesome home security, right? So pretty awesome, pretty easy to use. Guys, don't forget how easy this is. 50 bucks, and anybody can do it. It took me 5 minutes. I mean, I did it while I was cooking dinner. Don't tell your wife if you do that. They won't like that. Mine wasn't very happy. But 50 bucks, guys. The motion sensor is only 5 bucks. So if you buy it, you can buy more motion sensors, put them around your house for more security. 5 bucks, do it. Wyze Sense, do it. Don't buy this one. Eat your SpaghettiOs. Talk to you guys later.